Swimming is brilliant. You're practically weightless, you can pretend you're a fish, and it totally counts as your shower for the day. Come at me, staff of Tooting Bec Public Pool. Why is it then that swimming in games is such a bloody chore? Whether it's being hassled by beasts of the deep or having your lungs pop with oxygen deprivation, games manage to turn the elegant act of moving through water into a sodden, salty grief swamp of liquid stress, and there's not a 100-metre badge in sight. Join us as we dive into the very worst that in-game swimming has to offer. Oh, Andy, you were supposed to fill this.
It's not a pool.
My swimming bone.
It can be so frustrating when the one thing getting between you and an enjoyable swimming experience is bad controls. But many swimming controls have made us want to scream bubbles of air, miss a collectible on land and you just have to turn on the spot, but miss underwater and you'll have to do a massive U-turn, swimming at a fixed and painfully low speed. One culprit is Super Mario 64 and the level Dire Dire Docks. For someone who spends so much of his time in pipes, Mario is a surprisingly slow swimmer, which is not helped by a massive underwater whirlpool trying to pull him in. Also very hard to swim in dungarees. Don't ask me how I know. One of the main reasons swimming can be such a pain is awkward cameras not pointing in the right direction. While swimming lets characters move in all directions, it doesn't always allow the same for the camera, making players feel like they're playing swimming sections like this. Am I going the right way? I can't quite.
Oh God, no.
You've also got the added and regular problem of different games having different swimming controls. Do I press B to dive? Or X? Or Y? Oh wait, this is on Nintendo. The buttons are the other way round on this. How do I surface? Great, drowned again. Oh damn it, I was on PlayStation.
Get in behind that truck!
As a rule, when you're on dry land, you're the apex predator. So it's a real lesson in humility to be suddenly and literally out of your depth in water, where the apex predator is a sudden and literal shark. Stray far enough off the coast of GTA 5's San Andreas and you'll run afoul of a very mean shark, swimming after you faster than a Michael Phelps with an outboard motor. Which, I'll be honest, makes swimming better exercise but significantly less fun than jet skiing. Or take Dishonored. On the streets of Dunwall, you're the fearsome master assassin Corvo, but in the murky waterways of Dunwall, you're liable to dive in with minimal health to escape some angry guards and have your hindquarters nibbled off by an opportunist hagfish. Ugh. You win this round, hagfish, but next time, rematch, on land, then we'll see who's the apex predator. You don't even have legs, probably, fins you've got, and
thumbs,
yeah, I got those and legs. Kick your fins right off.
No pedestrians allowed along the bridge during this period. Service tomorrow morning at sunrise.
If a human doesn't get enough oxygen, they will die? Oh my God, did you guys know about this? Oxygen is very important, perhaps more so when you're underwater, where greedy fish try and hog it all. And games aren't shy about hammering this home, with oxygen meters that furiously tick away the time you can remain beneath the waves. Come on, Minecraft, I'm trying to explore an underwater cube kingdom here. Cut me some slack, maybe? Stressing about your remaining oxygen is one way to render any underwater gaming a thoroughly unpleasant experience, as you focus less on having fun and more on the rising carbon dioxide levels in your bloodstream. Not even games explicitly set underwater are safe from this anxiety-inducing trend. Come on, Echo, mate, you literally live in the sea. Would it kill you to grow some gills? And they say dolphins are nearly as smart as people. You don't see humans getting caught in tuna nets.
You got caught in 3 this morning.
Oh yeah. The never-ending quest for Sweet O2 leads gamers to some odd subaquatic behaviour, such as seeking out bubbles to top up a dwindling oxygen meter when you're too far from the surface, which is handy for Sonic, who mysteriously sinks straight to the bottom of any body of water, perhaps because he knows running is always preferable to swimming in games. See, Echo, us land mammals are the smart ones. Guys, you have to cut these up or I will get stuck in them.
Imagine you're trying to make your way through a complicated virtual water system. Now imagine that the draw distance is 5 feet in front of your face and you have no idea where the floor is. One of the worst culprits for making you swim around blindly is the Elder Scrolls series. It seems that Tamriel's waters are as dark as the Brotherhood. Plus, since it's in first person, having the light fade around you as you go deeper underwater is unnervingly immersive, making you desperately press jump as you crave the surface again. Oh god, I don't care if my character's Argonian, that was too real. Even brightly coloured games like the Far Cry series have you swimming around in murky waters and cave systems, searching for some random collectible whilst also trying to remember which way gravity works. But it's not just first-person swimming that's disorientating. Games like the early Tomb Raider series often had you puzzling your way through old water systems, hoping you didn't find out which way down is by Lara horrifically drowning and her body floating slowly upwards. I played this before I was the recommended 15 years old and it didn't affect me at all.
Is that what you asked for?
No, Lara! No amount of practice swimming in Croft Manor's pool could ready you for some of the dark and strange flooded temples Lara had to deal with, especially certain areas of the jungle level in Tomb Raider 3. Hope you liked getting hurled through that waterway, Lara, as that's going to be a little bit of a trend for you.
One fact about swimming is that it wasn't invented until 1989, when it was popularised by the proud Los Angeles County lifeguards of Baywatch, and that's why no one could swim in the mid-80s. That's the only explanation for how GTA Vice City protagonist Tommy Vercetti is less at home in large bodies of water than a bag of sugar cubes. Dunk him into the pleasantly warm waterways of Vice City and he's so hopeless in water that he's dead faster than those alien jerks in Signs. And that blazer was dry clean only. Here Tommy Vercetti represents all the many game protagonists whose kryptonite is a dip in the substance that covers 71% of the Earth's surface. Wow, I'm getting the weirdest feeling of deja vu, like I've said something similar about a similar character and possibly a similar situation for another video that was maybe like this, but not this one, in a complimentary, and you might enjoy watching it as well, because it's just a click away.
You're on Xtra today, you're on.
So easy.
No, stop it.
You could just click on the card. Just go on.
In real life, we all know how to exit water. You try once or twice to do that push-up thing at the side of the pool, then remember your biceps are made of cookie dough and swim with as much dignity as you can muster to the ladder in the shallow end. To our eternal frustration, however, making the water-to-land transition is rarely so simple in games. Adventurers in Skyrim may be tempted to take a travelling shortcut through one of Tamriel's silt-filled fjords or lakes, for instance, but anyone who's played the Elder Scrolls knows that clambering out of the water is not straightforward. Sure, you can jump your way up a sheer rock face if you're patient enough, but good luck mantling your way up onto this dock. Stop looking at me like that, sailors. I was once dry like you. Ooh, I'd give you landlubbers such a fireballing if I hadn't got my magic hands all wet. Not being able to simply wriggle out of the wet stuff like a graceful penguin is especially annoying in games where your hero clearly should be able to get free. Don't try and tell me Lara can fight this bear to the death with her Olympic-grade strength and agility, but can't find a way out of this pool that her fuzzy friend was presumably guarding. Although, bearing in mind how long it's going to take to dry those clothes, maybe you shouldn't be in such a rush to be back running around on dry land. Not unless you have a spell to cure chafing. I mean, do you have a spell to cure chafing? Because that would be great.
Now, we've talked a lot about the perils of being underwater in video games, but some games don't even let you take off your water wings. Yes, many games completely stop you from diving below the surface, instead only allowing you to swim with your head above the waves. One massive culprit of this is Zelda Breath of the Wild. Except for an occasional dive, Link rarely gets his golden locks wet. It seems he has retained the natural buoyancy that required him to wear heavy iron boots to walk around a water temple rather than just swim it. Link's all happy when he gets his boots, but when I get Luke's cement shoes, he's all angry and, Ellen, are you part of the mafia?
They're not the same thing as what Link has.
Yes, they are. Shut up or I get the boys on you. I mean, what? No, there's boys in the gang. I'm not a gang, you are. What's mafia? I don't know mafia. You're mafia. Shut up. This is especially frustrating in a game that allows you to swim up waterfalls. Plus, it's just so darn pretty. I mean, come on, I want to swim closer to these giant underwater flowers. But in some games, we're kinda glad you can't swim underwater. Assassin's Creed Syndicate sees Evie and Jacob Fry running up and down the Thames in Victorian London, which was much less clean than the Thames in modern London, which we still don't recommend you make Ribena with. It would be impossible to see even an inch in front of you, and every time they end up in the water, we can only imagine what horrors end up soaked into their assassin's robes. Yeah, Evie, you might want to go and wash your hair. I mean, I know those plaits must have taken ages, but you do not want to know what's in your hair right now. Look, let's just say that you won't be able to sneak up on your targets if they're standing downwind.
So those were some of the times that swimming in games was just a real pain, not at all as elegant and enjoyable as it should be, you know, like real swimming is. Come on games, why do you do this to us? We don't know. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, then there's loads more to watch. That's the good news. Why not check out this video up here? That's really good. This one down here as well, I'm informed is excellent. And if you did enjoy this, then you could do us a massive favour by clicking on the subscribe. Fit tuna fisherman, why? Do I look like a dolphin? Well, now, this is embarrassing for you more than me, frankly.